Hello, preschool friends! We get to do a new letter for this week. And it is a letter that starts words like quiet, or quilt, or the bird quail, or a queen. It is the letter qua, qua, qua. Q! Very good. That is our goal for this week, is to learn how to read and write the letter Q. Will you say that with me? I can read and write the letter Q. Actually, let me check, make sure I'm doing that right. I think I did that wrong. If you want to do Q in sign language, here's our Q right there. It looks like we're going to put our two fingers out and the rest is going to be in your hand. So let's try that first. We'll put 3 fingers down and then we'll put these 2 fingers down. I think we got it right. Q. Oops, that way. Q. All right. Q says qua. Q says qua. Every letter makes a sound. Q says qua. Q is kind of fun to write. We get to do a circle, and then we give it a little tail for our capital, uppercase Q. Are you ready? Qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q. Let's do our lowercase q. Qua, 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 Q. Very good. It's like a backwards P. You do a small circle in the bottom half and a line down, and usually we give it a little tail, a little flip to show that it's different than P, right? Plus P is on this side, and our Q has the circle on the left side, the front side. So let's try it again. Qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q. Last time, qua, 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 Q. This is a bird, and this type of bird is called a quail. And quail starts with qua, 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 Q. Oh, you're so smart. That was a picture of a quail. This is a picture of another quail. Let's pretend that this quail is hurt, and we are going to have to help it. So the vet told us that we have to keep it quiet and calm. And this quail, her name is Quinn, and she loves the letter Q. Let's write the letter Q for her so she can be calm and quiet while the vet tries to help her. Ready? Qua, 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 Q. Qua, 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 Q. Qua, 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 Q. Good job. Oh, Quinn also loves lowercase q, so let's try that one. Qua, 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 Q. Qua, 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 Q. Qua, 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 Q. Good. And you noticed this one has kind of a sharp kick, and this one had kind of a curvy tail. And our next one doesn't have anything at all at the end. And that's all correct ways to write the letter Q. Normally, though, you'll probably see it with a curly tail or the sharp tail. But let's practice it without a tail, too. Ready? All right. Instead of a quail, this time we have a picture of a queen. Yes, very good. Let's be queens and do our Q's with our scepters. If you want to pretend you're a king, that's okay too. But queen does start with Q. So I've got my royal scepter and I'm going to write qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q. Very good. Now, subjects, please write a lowercase q in the air with your magic royal scepters. Ready? Qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q, qua, 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 Q. Very good. You guys are so fun, and you're so good at writing letter Q, huh? All right, let's sing a silly song about letter Q. This is a picture of can you tell? It's supposed to be a queen, and what letter is hiding in our queen? The letter Q. This queen's name is Queenie. Listen to my silly song about Queenie. Queenie has qualified to run in the race. She'll run very quickly to keep up the pace. Queenie is quite fit. She'll stretch for a while. Queenie will not quit. She'll run every mile. Silly Queenie. Do you see anything that starts with a Q? I see some quarters and some queen. Well, probably just one queen, huh? And they said that she qualified and she won't quit. All of those words start with Q. Listen for the Q sound when I read you this story. It's going to have a lot in our Alphatel story. It's called The Quiet Quail. It's by Heather Feldman and illustrated by Rusty Fletcher. All right, I love these books that help us learn so much about our letters. Okay, Quincy likes to sit quietly and read. Quincy likes to take quiet walks. Did you hear the cues? Sometimes on his quiet walks, Quincy meets his friends Dottie, Duck, and Dottie is not very quiet. In fact, Dottie is quite loud. Quack, 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 quack. Hi, Quincy! Quack, quack, shouts Dottie. Hello, Dottie, whispers the quiet quail. Quincy and Dottie sit in the park. Quack, 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 shouts Dottie. What a beautiful day! Quack, quack! Dottie quacks and quacks till Quincy's head hurts. Dottie, please quit quacking, says Quincy. But Dottie is quacking so loudly she doesn't hear the quiet quail. Has that ever happened to you? Have you had a friend be so loud that it started to hurt your ears? Or maybe, if you're like me and my family, you were the one that was being too loud and your friends had to say, shh, you're hurting my head. And then I say, oh, sorry. We have to remember when people are around us to use our inside voices, right? Unless we're outside. Although I guess they were outside. So how come she couldn't use her outside voice? Oh, maybe it's just because they were sitting so close together. Yeah, that makes sense, huh? Okay, Quincy decides to go for a swim to drown out Dottie's quacking. He spreads his quilt on the grass and jumps in the pond. Suddenly, Queenie the dog trots by. She grabs Quincy's quilt and runs away. My quilt, cries Quincy. Someone stop Queenie. But Quincy's voice is too quiet. No one hears him. Uh-oh, sometimes it's good to be loud, huh? Queenie runs right past Dottie. That's Quincy's quilt, quacks Dottie. Catch Queenie, quack! The other animals hear Dottie's loud quacking. They chase Queenie. Oh, I'm glad their friends are helping. Would you help if one of your friends had their quilt taken? Although in real life it's a dog, we gotta be careful, huh, and have an adult help us. Queenie is quick, but the other animals are quicker. They snatch Quincy's quilt from Queenie's teeth. They give the quilt back to Quincy. Oh, Quincy thanks all the animals for rescuing his quilt, especially Dottie. Your loud quacking saved the day, Quincy tells Dottie, and for once the quiet quail is quite happy to have such a noisy friend. Yes, sometimes it's good to be loud and sometimes it's good to be quiet, huh? That can be a little tricky. Why don't you think about it and talk with somebody at your house about when is it the right time to be loud and when is it the right time to be quiet? You guys are so smart. How about you come up with a lot of good ideas? All right, check this out. Can you find anything that starts with the Q sound? Do you see a quilt or a queen? I see a quill. A quill is a feather pen. We're going to talk about that this week, huh? Maybe you can find anything else that starts with the qu sound. All right, our cheer for today is Q is for quail and quilt for your bed. Q is for queen and a crown on her head. Q is for quack and a quarter to spend. Q is for quarrel that you have with your friend. Hooray for Q, big and small, the quaintest, quirkiest letter of all. Wow, there were some good vocabulary words in there. You probably know what quack and queen means, but you might not know that quarrel is a fancy word for saying an argument or a fight with your friend. So if you want to be fancy, you could tell your parents, I'm having a quarrel with the dog. Or whatever you want to say. Thanks for reading our silly story about quiet quail and letter Q. We are going to have so much fun with letter Q today and all week. So let's keep learning. I love you. I miss you. And you are amazing.